After being reborn, I only have 3 thoughts. First, be nice to my stepmother and stepbrother. Second, study hard. Third, stay away from Alex. I did well with the first 2 things, but I couldn't manage the third, because Alex was also reborn. At the moment I saw Alex walk into the classroom, I knew I was reborn. At 18, Alex still carried the innocence of youth, which was somewhat different from the man who would discard me after using me, causing my family to fall apart 10 years later. The homeroom teacher smiled and introduced the new student. Alex has just transferred to our class, and everyone should get along well from now on. This was exactly the same as in my previous life. I know, the homeroom teacher will make Alex my desk mate, because the student next to me just transferred, and there's only 1 seat left in the class. It was like that before too. After becoming Alex my desk mate, he was surprisingly kind to me. We quickly got to know and become close. And after learning about his tragic past, I felt even more sympathy for him and always wanted to help him more. Putting aside the bad things he did later, Alex was actually good-looking and very capable, so my initial sympathy gradually turned into affection. After the college entrance exam, I confessed my feelings to Alex, and then we naturally became a couple, until 10 years later my family went bankrupt. Alex threw me away like trash, and then got engaged to someone else. On the day he got engaged, I found out that he had long planned to take advantage of me to gain my father's trust, leading to my family's bankruptcy and the takeover of my family's company. He wanted to prove himself to Alex's father and establish himself in the Alex family. My 10 years of sincerity, and the generations of efforts from my Taylor family became his Alex stepping stone. Eventually, my father committed suicide. And I died in a car accident on the way to the hospital to see him for the last time. When I opened my eyes again, I returned to everything that had started. Alex, please sit next to Judy. Watching Alex gradually walk towards me, I instinctively jumped up suddenly. Just as Alex was about to sit down, his body froze, and he looked up at me with a puzzled expression. The homeroom teacher asked me, "What's wrong?" I took a step back, distancing myself from Alex. I don't want to sit with him. I want to change places. Upon hearing this, Alex looked into my eyes, his pupils trembling violently. The homeroom teacher furrowed his brows in displeasure, and the surrounding students whispered, "Judy, what's up today? She's usually quite nice. Judy, let Alex sit next to you first, and we can adjust the seating after the monthly exam." I ignored the homeroom teacher's words and scanned the classroom with my gaze. Everyone was watching me like it was a show. Except for him sitting at the back, who kept his head down, focused on his own work. It seems that everything around him has nothing to do with him. I also don't want to disturb him, but it seems there is no other way now. "Teacher, I want to sit with Sam." As soon as the words came out, the Sam who had always been indifferent finally looked up, his gaze sweeping past my face. "I want to study well, so I want to sit with Sam as a desk mate and let him tutor me." After saying that, I worried that this reason might not be enough, so I added, "My dad has agreed to this. Sam knows it too. He just hasn't had the chance to tell you. My dad donates money to the school every year, so even if the teacher doesn't pay attention to me, he has to give my dad some face." She looked at Sam inquiringly, seeking his confirmation. I also looked over. Sam was initially confused and stared at me for a few seconds. I just weakly blinked at him, and he nodded with a after changing seats. Sam has been very cold towards me, even giving off a feeling of avoidance. I can understand it. After all, ever since his mother became my stepmother, I have always been resistant to both of them, and I never gave them a good face. But after our family's incident in my previous life, it was Sam and his mother who struggled to hold our crumbling family together. So in this life, I've decided to be a bit nicer to my stepmother and stepbrother. "Stop looking," Sam said in a red-faced whisper. I only realized that I had been staring at him for a long time. He seemed to have made a big decision before turning to look at me and asking seriously, "Why suddenly want to be my desk mate? You aren't the most hated me." He didn't say the last few words, but I could guess them. I smiled and flipped through the book in front of me, saying, "I said, I want to study hard. That's not a lie. In my previous life, I was like a useless person, and after the incident, I not only didn't help the family, but I also became a burden to them. So in living this life again, I must study hard. When I encounter similar situations in the future, I hope I can also become their support." "What about you?" I asked him. "Why are you helping me deceive the teacher?" Sam buried his head again, pausing for 2 seconds before saying, "My mom asked me to take care of you more at school. I've already guessed this reason. Aunt Wendy has always treated me well. well, I will take care of you in the future, Sam. Sam quickly glanced at me, this time his ears turned red, but a hint of a faint smile lingered at the corners of his mouth. In my last life, I was just a mediocre student who got into the elite class through connections. Even living this life again, these high school subjects are still quite difficult for me. Step-sibling Sam has glanced at me numerous times. When he looked at me and my practice book again, I suddenly turned my head and met his eyes. Sam, I can't do it, please teach me. He did not hesitate, as if he had been waiting for me to say this. Okay. While teaching, Sam spoke very softly. Even when I asked him some very basic questions, he would patiently answer, just write these down, you can use the formula directly next time. I was slow at solving problems, and when I finished, I noticed that he had been watching me the entire time. You got it right. Sam smiled slightly, his lips curving into a faint smile. He really doesn't hold grudges at all, whether it was in the past or now, whether it was because I got a question right or because of Sam's smile. I suddenly felt inexplicably happy, even feeling the urge to tease him. Sam, why don't you call me sister anymore? I remember when his mother first brought him to my house. He was only 12 years old. On our first meeting, he timidly called me sister. For a long time after that, even when I treated him coldly, he still insisted on calling me sister, but later, for some reason, I never heard him call me that again. Upon hearing this, Sam suddenly stopped smiling, looking at me with a complex expression. Didn't you tell me not to? I had completely forgotten about this. I awkwardly rubbed my nose. Then, I softened my voice, coaxing him like I would a small child. So, will you still call me sister in the future? It was all my fault before. I was just joking. Sam, will you still call me sister in the future? I love hearing you call me sister. Boys his age are really easy to coax. Sam turned his head away, and from my angle, I could only see his blushing earlobes, and the next moment, I heard him softly reply, I pushed my luck, then call me that right now. After staring at him for a while, I finally heard him reluctantly utter a word, sister. Just that one word already pleased me. As I turned to continue working on my problems, I noticed a gaze seemingly fixed on me from behind. Just as I turned around, Alex's gaze met mine. He probably didn't expect me to suddenly turn around, so the gloom on his face hadn't had time to fade away. But in just the blink of an eye, Alex's expression had returned to normal. He smiled at me friendly. But I found his smile at that moment both hypocritical and disgusting. I turned around expressionlessly. Beside me, Sam glanced at Alex and reminded me, let's do these few problems first, sis. The previous good mood was swept away, and even that, sis, couldn't salvage it. I looked at the exercises he had circled in the workbook and replied softly, okay. After school, I found the private car that came to pick me up according to my memories from my past life. Miss, get in the car. Looking at the familiar face of the driver uncle, the joy of being reborn filled my heart once again. I looked towards the school and said, wait a little longer. Sam was called by the teacher. Let's wait for him to go together. The uncle looked at me with a slightly surprised expression, but he still said nothing. Judy, a familiar voice suddenly came from behind me, and I froze in place. I lost my bus card. Could you lend me €2 to take the bus? This scene also happened in my previous life. In my previous life, Alex said the Sammy thing to me. Considering we were desk mates, I asked for his home address, and after knowing we lived in the Sammy neighborhood, I took the initiative to invite him to get in the car and go back with me. After arriving at the neighborhood, I ran into an acquaintance, and he introduced me as his friend, and the Taylor family miss is a friend. Just with this point, from now on, he, the awkward illegitimate child, would be valued by the Alex family to some extent. In my last life, I thought all of this was coincidence, but now that I think about it, I feel it was all very intentional. Seeing that I had been silent, Alex called out to me again, Judy. I directly ignored him and waved to Sam. I've been waiting for you for a long time. Let's go home together. Sam glanced at Alex behind me, then ran towards me, looking a bit flattered. Did you wait for me on purpose, sis? I nodded and got in the car first. Even though my current reaction is completely different from my past life, Alex still wouldn't give up. He stepped forward, pulled the car door, and repeated, Judy, can you lend me $2 for the bus? I frowned and looked at him coldly, annoyed. I don't have a habit of lending money to strangers. Sorry. Through the rearview mirror, I saw Alex still standing in the Sammy place, looking puzzled and lonely. As soon as I got home, I saw my dad setting the table, memories from the past life surged up, and I felt a lump in my throat. I rushed over and hugged him tightly. Dad, seeing me cry, my dad hurriedly comforted me. Even Wendy Auntie rushed over from the kitchen, surrounding me with concern. Judy, what happened? Did you get bullied at school? She grabbed Sam and asked. Sam looked at me in confusion and shook his head. While eating, Sam handed me a bowl of soup. Sister. I reached out to take it and said, thank you, casually. It was just 2 simple words, but the 3 of them acted as if it were a big deal. The dishes on the table were all my favorites. I took a bite and sincerely said, the food is really delicious today. Wendy Auntie smiled and put down her chopsticks. She looked at my dad and then at me. Today, Auntie took a day off, so I cooked. I'm glad you like it. I used to have prejudice against Wendy Auntie and Sam. So I never ate the food Wendy Auntie made, and even got angry and knocked over the table because of it. Judy, if you like it, Wendy Auntie can also make it for you tomorrow, okay? Wendy Auntie cautiously asked. At the dinner table, it suddenly became quiet, as if everyone's movements had paused except mine, facing their hopeful eyes. I smiled and nodded. Okay, my dad and Wendy Auntie were very happy all night. Their smiles never left their faces. Even Sam stayed by my side, poured me water, brought me fruits, and called me sister several times. When I was about to go out, I heard Wendy Auntie talking with my dad. I heard the Alex family took in an illegitimate child, and their situation is very difficult. My dad didn't take it seriously. It's none of our business, as long as our family is harmonious. Dad, Wendy Auntie, I'm going out for a walk with the dog, I said to the 2 of them on the sofa. After changing my shoes, I realized Sam was also behind me changing his shoes. Where are you going? Sam grinned at me and said, Sister, I'm going for a run. After reminding me to pay attention to safety, he ran off. Just a few steps later, I saw a person standing under the shadows of the trees ahead. I had been watching that figure for 10 years, so it was certainly not unfamiliar. It was Alex. I ignored him and continued to walk forward, but Alex was obviously waiting here on purpose. Judy. He called out to me, seeing that I didn't acknowledge him. Alex reached out to pull me over, but was scared off by my golden retriever. Judy, I have something I want to ask you. The golden retriever was still barking and showing its teeth at him. I tightened the dog leash and said softly, Classmate, I don't know you, so there's probably nothing to talk about, right? Alex was about to say something else when I heard Sam's voice not far away. He ran over quickly, giving a hostile glance at Alex. Then looked at me. Sister, what's wrong? I heard Tom calling all the time. Nothing. I pulled the golden retriever and prepared to leave, when a black car suddenly stopped beside us. The person who got out of the car was Alex's father. Alex, why are you outside? After saying that, he seemed to just notice me, and pretended to be warm. Isn't this the daughter of Mr. Taylor? I've also been wanting to visit your father. Alex is my son, right? Do you know him? We don't know, I and Sam said in unison. This kind of thing I've already experienced once in my previous life. Alex found out that I would go out for a walk at night, so he was waiting near my house specifically. It was not only to get closer to me, but also to let his father see him having a relationship with the only heir of the Taylor family when he got home. Is it Uncle Carl? I said politely. Please take care of your son. He scared my dog. After saying that, I didn't wait for their reaction, and me and Sam left immediately. Behind me, I heard Alex's father cursing, You son of a gun, stop showing off your dirty tricks. Don't be like your mother, who's full of schemes. If it wasn't for your mother threatening me, you wouldn't even have a chance to enter the Alex family. But Alex never made a sound from beginning to end. Only after walking far away did the gaze that followed me disappear. Sister, do you know that person? Sam suddenly asked me. I don't know him. Alex is good looking and has excellent grades. He just transferred here a few weeks ago, and every day after class, the girls who come to see him are as numerous as the fish crossing the river. Half of the girls chattering outside the window came to see Sam, and the other half came to see Alex. As a result, the boys in the class complained a lot. But because of my attitude towards Sam, they could only vent their anger on Alex. During free activity in gym class, on my way to the snack shop to buy water, I saw Alex blocked by a few boys behind a secluded classroom building. Seeing me pass by, Alex looked at me with a pleading gaze, but I still just glanced at him hurriedly, then pretended not to see and walked straight away. I've had enough of the lessons from my past life. Every time Alex got into trouble, I was the one who always stepped in for him. My sincere efforts and all the care I gave him didn't even get me a good ending, did they? So, this life I've decided to be a cold-hearted bad person. I don't need to do anything, and I can already make Alex suffer. I had only done 1 page of exercises when Sam came back. I handed him the tissue and water. Why did you come back so soon? He unscrewed the bottle cap and drank water. His Adam's apple was clearly visible as he drank. I looked away awkwardly. Can you do them all? Seeing the workbook in front of me, Sam asked me. Before I could answer, I saw the few boys who had troubled Alex earlier also came back to the classroom. You guys say Alex has a problem, right? Why did he deliberately provoke us just now? Yeah, he clearly provoked us first, and just when we were about to take action, he apologized. Hearing this, I could only let out a cold laugh in my heart. Alex is really scheming to get close to me. He just doesn't know that the body he's dealing with is no longer the innocent and kind Judy from before. On the weekend, Sam accompanied me to study at the library. We arrived relatively late, and the library was basically full. After a lot of effort to find a vacant seat, I was just about to ask if the seat was taken when I realized that the person was Alex. He also saw me, so he moved his things aside, silently inviting us to sit down. I hadn't said anything yet. Sam had already grabbed my wrist. Sister, let's go to the second floor. There are seats there. As he was leaving, he shot a warning glance at Alex. After finishing 2 test papers, I turned my sore neck and suddenly heard Sam quietly ask me, Sister, why did you suddenly want to study? Various memories from my past life flashed through my mind, and I forced a smile that looked ugly. For no reason, I just suddenly don't want to be a waste anymore. I propped my chin up with one hand, looking down at the densely packed answers on the test paper. You know, I had a dream. In the dream, my family faced a sudden crisis, and I couldn't help at all. The person I once liked the most said I was just a useless waste. I was just venting casually, but unexpectedly Sam took it seriously. He looked at me seriously, his expression grave. That was just a dream, no matter what happens. Uncle Taylor would never say that about you. I shook my head. It's not my dad. After hearing my answer, Sam fell silent for 2 seconds, then blushed and looked away from my eyes. I wouldn't say that about you either. The gloom in my heart was instantly swept away, and I looked at the blushing Sam laughing so hard that he couldn't stand up straight. After finishing my homework, I got up and wandered around the library. A shadow rushed over from somewhere behind me, forcefully pulling me into the safety passage outside, just as I was about to cry out for help. My mouth was suddenly covered by someone. In my ear was Alex's familiar voice. Judy, long time no see. He pressed me against the wall, his lips close to my ear, breathing heavily, excitedly saying, You have reincarnated too, right? I realized that the things I just said to Sam might have been overheard by Alex, so he said he is also reincarnated. Judy, I came back for you. Alex looked at me with undeniable affection, but I knew he was adept at disguise. I felt my heart race with fear and suddenly pushed him away, but Alex was relentless, locking me again between him and the wall of the corridor. Judy, can you let me explain what happened in our last life? It's not as you think. The difference in strength between men and women is already significant. I couldn't resist and could only pretend to comply for the time being. He asked me, What was it? Isn't it you who caused my family to be destroyed? Alex, his expression was extremely painful. His lips moved for a while, but he could only manage to say, I have my reasons. No matter how big your reasons are, it's none of my business. Taking advantage of his lowered guard, I gripped the pen in my hand and stabbed it into his arm, then pushed him down the stairs. Stay away from me in the future. Don't pollute my eyes. After saying that, I opened the emergency exit and ran out like a fugitive, only to run straight into Sam's arms. He supported me, perhaps sensing my unease, and gently comforted me. Sister, what's wrong? I shook my head, barely holding back my trembling body. I'm fine, let's go back. Sam lifted his eyes to look at the emergency exit door. His expression seemed a bit dark. Sister, you go ahead and wait for me. I'll be back after I go to the bathroom. I didn't think much about it and turned to walk towards my seat. When Sam came back, I noticed the injury on his face. Why did you take so long? Also, what's with the injury on your face? Sam looked down and avoided my gaze. I fell in the bathroom. As I went down from the second floor, I ran into Alex, who looked even more disheveled than before, and had some unexplained bruises on his face. Thinking about Sam's injury, I suddenly understood. Seeing my gaze fall on Alex, Sam stepped aside to block my view. sis, don't look at him. He obviously isn't a good person, Judy. The homeroom teacher wants you to go to the office, just as I was about to go out. Sam glanced at Alex's seat, then picked up the stack of homework books that had just been collected from the table and called out to me, sis, wait a minute, I'll go with you. When I got to the office, Alex was there too. The physics teacher seemed to be talking to him about the competition. From the moment I entered, his gaze had been fixed on me. Sam placed the homework on the teacher's desk and, as he was leaving, reminded me, sister, I'll be waiting for you outside. The class teacher joked with a smile. How is our top student such a sister's treasure? Can't leave his sister for a moment. Sam blushed and didn't refute, which counted as him agreeing with the teacher's words. He glanced at Alex before leaving. Judy, you have improved a lot in your grades recently. Keep it up. After that, the class teacher assigned some study-related tasks. When I came out of the office, I didn't see Sam. Instead, Alex was standing at the stairs, clearly waiting for me. I ignored him and prepared to return to the classroom. Alex caught up with me and blocked my way. Weren't you the one who hated your stepbrother the most before? Why are you so close to him now? Judy, why has everything changed? Weren't you the one who liked me the most before? Why now you won't even give me a glance? I laughed. Don't take yourself too seriously. As I raised my foot to leave again, Alex grabbed my wrist, his voice hoarse, saying, Judy, give me another chance. Okay, no. I tried to pull away, but failed. Hearing footsteps in the staircase, I warned Alex, let go. He looked at me persistently, his eyes full of sorrow. Sister, the footsteps belonged to Sam. His eyes fell on my wrist that was being pulled by Alex. His expression turned fierce instantly, and he rushed forward to push Alex. Sister, is he bullying you? Seeing my slightly red wrist, Sam turned around and grabbed Alex's collar, speaking in a low, threatening voice. You forgot how I warned you last time, didn't you? Stay away from my sister. Alex smirked, saying, you still dare to call her sister, who can't see through your little thoughts. The two of them looked displeased and quickly got into a fight. Sam. I stopped him just in time. Just as Sam was about to throw a punch at Alex, he suddenly hesitated, turned back with red eyes, looking at me pitifully. Sister, I went over and grabbed him. Let's go. Class has already started. After saying that, he cast another glance at Alex. There's no need to fight with someone like him. Upon hearing this, Alex's pupils quivered slightly, and tears filled his eyes in an instant. Since I learned that Alex also came back to life like me, he started appearing by my side more frequently. However, Sam's temper visibly became irritable, and there were even instances where he publicly got into physical conflicts with Alex. At school, there were more and more rumors about me and Alex. When I was called into the office by the head teacher again, I felt a bit annoyed. This year in the senior year is a crucial time. I hope you can all focus on your studies. Recently, you, teacher, I rarely interrupted an elder so rudely. I have no feelings for Alex, but Alex often harasses me, and it has severely affected my studies. He has caused me a lot of trouble. I hope the teacher can have a good talk with Alex. If you can't resolve it, I will have to trouble my dad to come to school and talk to the principal. After saying that, the head teacher was also taken aback, then turned to Alex. Is what Judy said true? Alex silenced for a moment, then nodded in acknowledgement. Judy, you can go back to the classroom first. The teacher will handle this matter well. I nodded and left. As soon as I came out, I saw Sam waiting outside the office. I know he is worried about me. After returning to the classroom, the girl in front of me turned around and asked, the homeroom teacher is looking for you about Alex, right? Before I could answer, she continued, actually, we've noticed a long time ago that Alex likes you. He keeps stealing glances at you in class and always likes to follow behind you. I smiled nonchalantly and said, really? She nodded. Sam, however, began to lose patience and reminded her, it's class time. The girl pouted and glanced at Sam with a complicated expression before reluctantly turning back. On Saturday, Sam has a physics competition, in this year plus since my rebirth. He and I have almost been stuck together all the time. Go for it. After saying that, I watched Sam enter the venue. Not long after sitting on the bench outside the venue, a figure appeared in front of me. Judy, I didn't look up, but I knew by the voice it was Alex. There was a transparent bag in his hand containing the competition entry pass. It was obvious he was also here for the competition. Alex knelt down in front of me and looked up at me. Judy, can we talk? What a nuisance. I stood up to move away from him, but then I heard Alex threatening words behind me. If you don't want to talk, I'll go in and talk to Sam. I just need to tell a little lie, and he won't be able to. What do you want to talk about? I said impatiently, cutting him off. Since my rebirth, I've always found him despicable, but he always likes to act humble in front of me. Alex moved a step closer, nervously squeezing the hand hanging at his side. I want to say sorry about the things from last time. I really didn't expect that it would end up causing your father's company to go bankrupt, nor did I expect you to suddenly die in a car accident. Judy, I admit I initially approached you with the intention of using you, but I was truly sincere about you later. I was just too anxious. I just wanted to make myself strong enough to be worthy of you. I looked up at the electronic clock above the venue. There is 1 minute left until the competition starts. After that, Alex would not be able to enter the competition again, and would not disturb Sam. You have no idea how I got through the years after your death. The engagement was fake. All along I've only loved you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have lived my days absurdly after losing you, coming back to see you after not living for long. Speaking of which, he smiled self-deprecatingly with a twitch of his mouth, and I never gave him a response from beginning to end. He could take those nonsense words to fool a dog. Even a dog would shake its head after hearing them. How could you bear to pull someone you love into a quagmire? Judy, would you forgive me? Let's start over. Watching the security guard close the venue's gate, I finally showed a satisfied smile. Well, now you can't get in. Alex didn't even look back, just stared at me and said, I guessed you would come with Sam today. So my initial target was you. Oh, I walked over to the security guard. Alex also came over, but that was exactly what I wanted. Security guard, this guy is harassing me. I pretended to be scared and called for help. The security guard immediately protected me. I already thought you were suspicious, Alex tried to explain, but in the end, he was kicked out by the security guard, after Sam won first place in the physics competition and was recommended to Peking University. Uncle Sam and Wendy Auntie were so happy they couldn't sleep for several nights. Our son is smart, my dad said, then looked at me again. Judy is also smart. Look how much she has improved in such a short time. I smiled but said nothing. I thought that after being recommended to the university, Sam might not come to school anymore. The next day, he still went out with me. Before the college entrance exam, I have to supervise you to study hard, said Sam. In the 2 months before the college entrance exam, everyone in the family except me was worried. To save time, Sam suggested having lunch in the cafeteria. This way you can have more time to rest, instead of going back and forth. While eating, Alex suddenly sat down next to me. Myself and Sam exchanged a glance, but neither of us paid attention to him. Sister, you can't be picky. You have to eat the carrots. They are good for your eyes. Silent all along, Alex suddenly spoke up. Judy doesn't like to eat carrots. I wasn't planning to eat them, but after hearing that, I immediately ate all the carrots on my plate in front of Alex. Alex saw this, and his expression turned serious. He didn't touch much of the food on his plate until we finished eating and left. While doing problems in the afternoon, Sam suddenly asked me, Sis, besides carrots, what else do you not like to eat? Yes, I nodded seriously, then listed a bunch of things I didn't like to eat. After saying that, Sam laughed to himself. It's really not easy raising you at home. The next day at noon, Sam left early. When I finished the test and looked up, everyone in the class had already left. It would be a long queue at the cafeteria at this time. Just as I was hesitating whether to go out and buy something to eat, Alex put a bread and milk on my desk. I brought this for you because I saw you didn't go to eat, as I just showed an annoyed expression. The next moment, the things on the desk were put back into Alex's arms. My sister doesn't eat these things. Then he opened the thermos in front of Alex and there were all the dishes I liked inside. Sister, I will come home every day after the second class and bring you lunch. After he was recommended for admission, the teacher really didn't restrict him much, but isn't that too much trouble? Sam leaned on the table watching me eat and laughed, saying, Not trouble at all. I like to cook. Did you make this yourself? I asked with raised eyebrows. Yeah. Is it tasty? I sincerely nodded. Super tasty. At the high school graduation pledge ceremony, Sam was giving a speech on stage. I looked at the spirited young man on the stage and couldn't quite express what I felt inside. I also participated in the pledge ceremony in my past life, and the speaker was the Sammy Sam, but my state of mind back then was completely different from now. You wouldn't be moved by a 17 or 18-year-old kid, would you? The mocking voice next to me pulled me back to reality. Judy, wake up. You have lived 2 lives. Your psychological age is worlds apart from Sam. You are not suitable for him. Moreover, he is still your. I gave him the chance to say the rest. I looked at him with disgust and scoffed. Then who am I suitable with? You. Alex seemed oblivious to the sarcasm in my words, looking into my eyes seriously, saying, Judy, I am the one you liked for over 10 years. We have the Sammy experiences. We understand each other. No one in this world is more suitable for you than I am. This guy has such thick skin. Seeing Sam have already come down from the stage, he did not like Alex being around me, and I equally despised it, so, I urgently wanted to get rid of him. Who I like has nothing to do with you. Instead of worrying about me, you should worry about yourself. Your life in Carl's family won't be easy, right? This sentence hit a sensitive spot of his. Alex frowned, and after a long silence, he said, I don't care about those things anymore. I came back for you. I asked him, do you really believe that nonsense yourself? On the day of the college entrance exam, Sam, who had already been recommended for admission, looked more nervous than I did. Sis, please check again if you forgot anything. This was the 4th time he asked me to check, but I still obediently checked again, after the last subject. Sam and my father as well as Wendy auntie were waiting outside for me, after class. The classmates had a dinner gathering, and Sam as the only one recommended to Peking University was naturally drunk a lot. After getting out of the taxi near the community, I walked a few steps before realizing Sam wasn't following me. When I turned back, I saw him still standing at the place where we got out of the car, looking at me from a distance. Sis, I'm too drunk, my head is spinning, would you come and take my hand? Okay, today is a good day, I smiled and walked over, taking his hand. Okay then, maybe it was the alcohol. Sam's face was very, very red. He looked down at our interlocked hands, and after walking for a while, he finally said, His voice rose at the end, and the smile on his face never disappeared, until we met Alex in the neighborhood. Alex looked at our hands that were holding each other. His eyes instantly turned red, and he choked out my name, Judy. Alex ran toward us like he had gone mad, looked at Sam and then at me, his face full of disbelief. You too? Sam tightened his grip on my hand and looked at Alex with a provoking look. Sis, why does he always follow us around? At this moment, he was no longer drunk, his head was no longer spinning, he was very clear-headed. I ignored Alex and walked straight past him. I only let go of Sam's hand when we reached the front door, laughing, not bad acting. Sam squeezed the hand I released, his ears turning red. I celebrated my 18th birthday with a promotion banquet. Even though my college entrance exam scores only allowed me to attend an ordinary first-tier university, my dad still went all out to hold a dinner party for me. He boasted loudly to everyone, my daughter has been admitted to a first-tier university. That's impressive. The regrets of my past life were finally compensated in this life, and I also became my dad's pride. At the banquet, the Alex family expressed their intention to connect with my family, saying, Mr. Taylor, your daughter is about the same age as my sons. Take a look and see if there is anyone you fancy, and let's become relatives. My dad didn't even look at the 3 people following Mr. Carl and chuckled. Young people these days advocate for free love, and since I have some power, I really don't need my daughter to enter an arranged marriage. I noticed Alex had a somewhat delayed expression after hearing my dad's words. He must have thought of his past life, when my dad treated him as an honored guest because I liked him and took the initiative to introduce him to the socialites of B City, but now he can only follow behind his 2 older brothers, becoming an unnecessary backdrop, once the guests had all left. Aunt Wendy finally brought out the birthday cake that she made with Sam. Just as they were about to place the candles and make a wish, Sam suddenly spoke up, Mom, go turn off the lights with Uncle Taylor. Everyone at home was so excited tonight. Sam and they didn't give it much thought, heading over together to turn off the lights. The moment the lights went out, I closed my eyes and began to make a wish, but I heard Sam's calm voice saying, Sister, happy birthday. He tucked the strands of hair by my ear behind it. After today, you'll be an adult, and this is the last time I'll call you sister. Before I could respond to the meaning of his words, the light above me turned on again. The whole family started singing me a birthday song. Sam and the things he said were temporarily thrown to the back of my mind. As soon as I woke up in the morning, I heard the sounds of fighting outside. My dad and Aunt Wendy are not at home. I called out twice for Sam but got no response. Confused, I walked downstairs and saw Sam and Alex wrestling together outside the floor-to-ceiling window. After looking around, I grabbed a bottle of red wine from the liquor cabinet and rushed outside. I pushed Alex away, then protected Sam behind me. Are you fucking insane? Having lived 2 lives, this was my first time cursing at someone behind me. Sam tilted his head and wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, looking fiercely at Alex. You went to great lengths to anger me and fight with me, just to get Judy to come out and look at you, right? Now you're satisfied. Alex saw the wine bottle I was holding. He wasn't a fool and could guess that it was meant to be used against him. Suddenly, the expression on his face fell into despair, and the pain in his eyes was vivid, but I was not shaken at all, and said coldly, Alex, you need to have the ability to turn the page. Don't always dwell on it. You like this will only make me more disgusted with you. Don't appear in front of me again, or I can make sure you never step a foot into North City for the rest of your life. After pulling Sam into the house, I scolded him again. So you've become successful now. Have you learned to fight with others? What did you just call me? Always saying Judy. Is Judy what you were calling me? Sam glanced at me cautiously, avoiding my gaze. I said it last night. That was the last time I'll call you sister. As if struggling with something, he turned back and looked earnestly into my eyes. Judy, you are already an adult. I won't call you sister again. I like you, so I don't want to just see you as a sister. This statement left me frozen in place, unable to regain my senses for a long time. In the evening, the atmosphere at the dinner table was quite strange. My dad and Aunt Wendy tried several times to ease the tension but couldn't change the subtlety between me and Sam. When I returned from walking the dog, I saw Sam and Aunt Wendy, who had just come out of my dad's study, both looking off. I was about to ask when I saw my dad also coming out of the study. Judy, come to my study. In the study, my dad talked about how my mom passed away during childbirth when I was born, saying that all these years he had always feared that he hadn't taken good care of me. But my Judy is awesome. Not only is she good at studying, but everything else is also outstanding. I could tell he was just beating around the bush, so I directly pointed out, Dad, what exactly do you want to say? What happened? He sighed. After you went out, Sam called me and his mom to the study. He said he likes you, and wants to be with you. Actually, I've noticed he was a bit different towards you for a while. I just never thought of it that way. My dad carefully observed the expression on my face. Seeing that I remained silent, he continued, Judy, both Dad and Aunt Wendy are open-minded parents. If you also like Sam, you don't have to consider our feelings. Although Aunt Wendy just hit Sam, she, like me, will still respect your own choices. Dad can even send you abroad to a place where no one knows you. His only wish in this life is for you to be happy and to live a joyful life. It is undeniable that my dad loves me, even if in my past life I truly became Alex the worthless person. He never spoke harshly to me. Dad, I held his hand seriously and said, I'm not going anywhere. I just want to be with you. As for my matters with Sam, I will handle it well. During the summer vacation, I didn't travel but went directly to intern at my dad's company. When I officially graduated from college and entered the company, I had already gained some respect there. Sam did not join my dad's company. He is smart and formed a team for independent entrepreneurship in college, with my dad's support. Today Sam's company has made some progress. Goodbye Alex was at a charity gala. Without my help in this life, he is still just an awkward illegitimate child. Alex saw the smile on my face, and he was about to come over and greet me when he was stopped by the staff. Sir, this is the VIP area. You can't come in. Please go back to your own seat. Now he can't come to bother me anymore, and it's even hard for him to see me once. Several other big shots next to me I also know, and they mentioned Alex. The illegitimate son of the Alex family is now doing something in new energy, and he even came to my company to seek investment. I know about this, old Wong. Are you investing? Well, out of respect for the Alex family, I couldn't refuse, and besides, new energy is definitely going to be a big trend in the future. From their conversation, I found out that Alex and Sam are working in the SAME field. I raised an eyebrow and smiled, then greeted the Wang family's power holder beside me. Uncle Wang, it's been a while since we last met. Just now when you were talking about new energy, my younger brother is also in this field. If you want to invest, I'll thank all of you on his behalf. Uncle Wang and the other uncles nodded with smiles. Judy, since you've said it like that, how can we not support Sam? These people have been in the business world for decades. They wouldn't fail to understand the implication of my words. Moreover, Taylor family has been developing better and better in recent years. They certainly have to give me a favor. After today, Alex won't be able to get a single investment in North City. This is the difference between me and him now. I don't do anything. Yet he's already worlds apart from his past experiences. I can easily bring him down with a single sentence. And he'll never be able to recover in his lifetime. Sam's company was renamed and listed in the United States. I looked at the news online and frowned. He renamed the company J.Y., which is an abbreviation of my name. Wait, Sam, until the day you return. I will go to the airport to pick you up and throw a stack of documents at you. Sam, you're really getting bolder. Sam smiled and caught the papers. Flipped through a few pages, then met my eyes. You already know, Judy, J.Y. is my dowry. Can you think about me again? I slammed the car door and gritted my teeth to squeeze out 2 words. No, the stack of papers was actually share transfer documents. Sam had transferred 70% of J.Y.'s shares to my name. I've known him for 2 lifetimes. But now I seem to have never understood Sam. It seems he is different from the Sam I knew in high school. There were only the 2 of us in the car. And after a few seconds of silence, I finally heard Sam's voice. Judy, tell me one reason. Why can't I? His tone was lonely, which hurt to hear. Don't be fooled by the fact that we're only 2 months apart. In my heart, I've always thought of you as a little kid. The things you said to my dad after the college entrance exam. I only thought you were having a moment of excitement. Sam sits up straight, turns to me and says, Judy. It's been 9 years since that summer before our senior year. Why are you so reluctant to believe me? He seemed to be accusing someone, his tone filled with unspeakable grievance. Are you afraid that I'm just being impulsive? From the age of 17 to now, I'm 26. I've been following you for 9 years, and once my birthday passes it will be 10. I haven't had many decades in my life. How could this possibly be just a momentary whim? The car drove through the tunnel. And I glanced at Sam. The light in the tunnel flickered on and off on his face. Judy, give me a chance, okay? I know what I want. He said this while looking out the car window, his voice filled with sobs. My heart suddenly jumped. Okay, I didn't realize what I had done until after I said it, but it was too late to take it back. Sam suddenly lit up with a bright expression. He rubbed his eyes and asked uncertainly, really? But before I could answer, he continued, you can't deny it. I already heard it. After exiting the tunnel, I looked up at the sky. The moon was full, and the stars were shining brightly. I suddenly feel that agreeing to try with Sam is not a bad thing at all. After hearing the story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.